Yo, so before I get to the video today, I just want to get your guys' feedback on what you want to see on this channel. It can be anything health, fitness, faith related, some of the crazy topics like semen retention, soul ties, stuff like that. Whatever you want, just comment down below and I'll try to get to it. So when you are really wanting to develop self and your character, you're gonna have to go back to the beginning. You're gonna have to go back to the origin of you, of your life. Now, a lot of it goes back to our parental programming and what the relationship dynamics were with our parents. Was one absent? Was there any abuse within the family? Was there any hatred within the parents? Stuff like that. That stuff, you don't have to analyze too much and never be a victim to it. But you do have to have self-awareness of, okay, certain things happened within my family growing up that could have shaped me here in this present moment. Now, with that awareness, you can shed a lot of that stuff from the past. Now, if you didn't have a father or a mother in the home, inside of you, inevitably, there's going to be a void. Because if you didn't have either the masculine or the feminine energy within your life, then you could never know it. And you don't know what a healthy expression of it would be, or even what an expression of it would be. Now, when we start to shed light on all the stuff in our family and in the past, we can really return to the present moment and see who we are right now. Now, me, myself, I didn't grow up with a father in my household. So for me, there was no guiding principle. There was no foundation within purpose, what to do, how to think, how to have conduct. And that really shaped the beginning of my life. I was very angry. I held a lot of resentment, and there was no control within the family dynamic, because my mother was too busy trying to play both roles, which many parents do, but you can never do it truly optimally. Even if they try as much as they can never give 100% because it's divided. You need both the energies. Now, with me being angry and having so much resentment and having no guidance and no purpose and no foundational principles, the beginning of my life was very turbulent. A lot of aggression, a lot of drug use, a lot of being lost and having no purpose. Now, when I became aware that my programming does set a lot of who I am in my life, that's when everything changed. Because I realized that now I am not a victim of my circumstances. I have the ability to change. I have the ability to grow. And in a way, it was a spiritual baptism. Now I can be renewed because awareness has been brought to my present and to myself. So now I can conduct myself. But with that whole analysis of the past and understanding how you are raised, and I encourage you to look at your family dynamics, see how you were raised, what was really happening, and see if you hold any anger, resentment, and all these things within yourself, because that is holding you prisoner. But I digress. When you have analyzed that and return to the present, you can move clearly forward because you're not being held back by anything unconsciously because you made it conscious. You can give up the resentment, you can give up the anger because you can see things clearly now for what they were. And a lot of the stuff that we feel and think are not our own. It's because of the early childhood programming. It's because of absorbing everything from our parents, from the environment when we were young, when our minds were not developed and our spirit was not fully aware. So go back to where it began. Go back to the foundations of where you came from. Analyze, sift through, and see with clarity now that you're older and wiser. And now bring it to the present. And really sit with it and say, okay, I see the family dynamics and I see how I was programmed and I see how I was thinking. But now with that greater awareness, how do I want to conduct my life now without any of that trash holding me back and without any of that anger and resentment? You might have to go back. I don't even think you might. You should go back and forgive your parents, your mother, your father, if you have the opportunity to when they're still alive, and say, I forgive you because I held so much anger and resentment towards you for things that you had no control over. You did the best you could in the situation that you were in. But now in my life, I am free from that. And I choose not to live in that certain lifestyle, that vibration. And it's very challenging, it's very hard, because that, my friend, is where maturity kicks in. And that's where your love is going to be challenged, because they're going to clap back at you and you just have to sit with it and understand and be in a state of forgiveness, love, and compassion, and stay present. And do not let your emotions and your thoughts overtake you, but just stay present and conduct yourself the best you can. Go back and forgive yourself for who you were in certain moments, because you're not that anymore. Reevaluate the beginning of your life and then return to the present. And that's where you can have clear eyes and clarity. But forgive after the analyze has been done. That's where the maturity comes in, and that's where life gets real now. Because you're not a victim anymore to anything. You are completely responsible for your present moment. And that's more challenging. But it's only a challenge if you view it like that. So return to where it all began. Analyze how you were raised. And understand that you're not a victim to the circumstances anymore once awareness has been brought to it. And even before that, you're not a victim, only if you choose to be one.